And then Val had what would have been a
5 feet?
10-footer.
Yeah, maybe 10.
But for whatever reason, Owen Scoggins they had talked about like, your putt's good, you'll make that, which can't do. This isn't match play, playoff.
Very fun.
And so Owen walks over and picks up her disc and walks away and then hands it to Val. And Heinold's like, hey, you got to finish out the putt. Yeah. And so there's two things to talk about here. Because, well, let's finish talking about the playoff and then we'll come back to that. Yeah. Next hole, Val Mandano gives herself a birdie look, which then she eventually makes
like a
42 footer is what they give her.
42?
I thought it was just outside the circle.
I thought so too.
42 is what they gave her.
Either way, it was a very good putt.
It was outside the circle.
It was a very good putt.
And Owen ends up tapping out the par. So Valerie Mandano takes down her first Pro Tour win in 2 years. Obviously, she went through that ankle injury and all of that stuff. She had won, I think she won once in 2023. I think she won twice in 2022.
Did she win twice in 3 or 2? Because she won
once
Waco.
in 2023. I know that.
Okay, so
I believe she won twice in 2022. I'll pull it up now.
She may have won Waco, and then she
won Idlewild in 2023, Portland and Waco in 2022. Okay. Because I believe Portland, she also won, I believe it was a Q Series or silver event up there, if I remember correctly. Or maybe they were just back to back.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, she went. Didn't she go back to back up there in like the Northwest?
I believe so. Maybe it wasn't a Pro Tour. It might have just been like Beaver State or something. But that was back in 2022. Then 2023 she won once, and then 2 years go by. She has the ankle injury. She rehabs. She never really fully got back to where she was. And then finally this weekend she has the breakthrough win. So huge congrats to Val. It was really, she played very solid all weekend, but the 11 under round 3 was definitely the highlight.
Yeah. That was
very, very impressive.
In a long time.
Impressive round there, and then she was able to hold on in the final round. But let's get back to the playoff own gate incident, if you will. First thing I want to say is I think that given the circumstance, the right call was made. I think it's just let it play out. It is what it is. But I do disagree because there's people online that are like, oh, no rule was broken. I disagree with that. I do think the rule was broken.
You think a rule is broken and the right thing to do is not enforce the rule?
I do. Given the situation.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, I think
that's a hot take.
I think because if you just read the rule for black and white, the rule was definitely broken.
So
the rule essentially
it's intentionality.
It's intentionally interfere with a lie. And what people are saying is Owen Scoggins didn't intentionally interfere. But let's look at it this way.
It really depends on if you read the words separately or together.
Well, because
what she did was intentional, but she
did interfere with the lie.
Right, but she wasn't intending to interfere.
Yeah.
But she did interfere intentionally. So that's where it's tricky. Is like it comes.
Well, she was intending to interfere because she was intending to pick up the lie.
She was intending to help pick it up and like give her a putt. Interfere implies something malicious.
Her intention was to pick up a disc for her.
That's the thing is if it doesn't have malicious intent, but malicious intent and intent, although different, both intent. So like, for instance, we have Trevor's Gooders here.
Yes.
Right? If they're sitting here and I'm like, hey Trevor, you mind if I pick those up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I intended to pick it up. I did pick it up and I did change the lie. It's not lying there anymore. All those things are true.
Yes.
So, given the rule,
if the rule said, but see, interfere is the weird rule that's weird.
I'll pull it up.
If it just said intentionally change the lie, then I think I would be, and I still don't know where I sit on this. Like whatever. At the end of the day, luckily it doesn't matter.
A player who intentionally interferes with another player's disc in any of the following ways receives 2 penalty throws. So intentionally interferes with another player's disc.
And what are the following ways? Read.
The first one's altering the course of a thrown disc. So that's like hitting it. Moving or obscuring a thrown disc or marker disc other than the process of identification.
Identification, retrieval, marking. So that's the thing is like it was retrieval, but obviously not legal.
But it wasn't intentionally interfering a disc.
Yeah, it was.
It was
not
intentional.
maliciously.
It was intentional.
She was not intentionally interfering with it.
Correct. She was.
She was intentionally picking it up,
but it
and
did
handing.
interfere with the lie.
But that's what I'm saying.
But exactly, it did interfere, but she wasn't intentionally interfering. She was intentionally handing. But
how do you hand without interfering?
Her intention wasn't interfering, though. Also, I think,
but
so
it was because she intended for her not to throw that putt.
But if she conceded the hole too, then if in your mind the hole is over, is there a way to intentionally interfere if the hole is over and now it's not a lie anymore?
That's where
because technically, if you've conceded, it's not a lie anymore.
The tricky part is if Val agreed and said like you can pick it up. That's where
given everyone agreed, I think the right call was made, which is no call.
Yeah,
but I still think a rule was broken.
I think I would agree. I think I would say a rule was broken.
It's a black and white rule was broken.
You can get as semantic as you want with
but the right call was made.
But yeah, I think if you're trying to like read into it too much, it's like you can within the PDGA rules. There's so much ambiguous language like interfere
and
that
intentionally
you can make it be whatever you want.
Way too
but I think
ambiguous.
we all understand that whether you're told to or not, if you pick up somebody's disc when they haven't finished the hole, a rule's broken there. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You can't pick up somebody's disc when the hole hasn't been finished and then put it back.
But if you concede, is the hole finished?
You can't.
No, you can't concede.
You're not allowed to.
That's the thing.
Okay.
Unless
did she concede though?
They agreed
so
to.
they already broke a rule before that then.
Correct, but the rule wasn't broken until Owen picked up the disc.
Right, but like nothing yet.
But technically, if you can't concede the hole, then whenever they agreed to concede, they broke a rule.
But she didn't.
If Val would have picked it up, walked away, the rule that
you
conceding
can't break
rule,
rules with the words that you're saying.
Well, I'm
though.
saying the rule would have been broken, the conceding rule, as soon as they threw the next tee shot, and then it would have been Val misplay, Val's disqualified.
Okay.
Yeah, like if Val would have been the one to pick up the disc.
If Heinold would have said nothing, right, and just let it happen. And
the funny thing is, we probably wouldn't have noticed because
walked
they probably
away.
Like on coverage, we wouldn't have seen it.
Well, I'm saying if we saw Owen pick it up,
this
she didn't.
putt
whatever,
had to be close. How close was that?
It was like
a
10
tap
feet.
in. It was a tap in.
It was missable.
I don't think I would even give it 10 feet.
That's missable.
They gave it 12. It was outside the bullseye.
It was
an actual C1 putt. Yeah.
Oh well, see, that's just criminal.
That's very missable.
See, that is actually criminal that you would pick that up.
It was an actual putt.
I've seen some hooked on the fingers
Very
happen.
much so.
I didn't. From when I watched it, when she put it back, it actually looked to me like it.
I think she
further.
put it back inside I think she put it back inside the bullseye. But I think it was picked up outside the bullseye.
Okay, because I'd have to look back to remember. Like I saw obviously the upshot, and I thought to myself it was just outside of the mulch. But I guess it slid further than that. You're saying?
They gave her a 12-foot putt.
Well, I don't trust them. They gave her a 42-footer on the winner.
But if you're the 12-foot is you're outside, so it's an actual putt, not a tap in. It's a C1X putt.
I need to see.
Regardless, though,
I need to see where this upshot landed.
Basically, if Heinold wouldn't have said something and they went back and played, then it would have been on Val as a misplay.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, to me,
it was so awkward.
To me, it's just it's the right call to be like, hey, you got to finish out the hole, place it back where it was, and let's move on. But as the rule sits, I do think a rule was broken because she did intentionally interfere with the lie because she intentionally didn't be like, hey, you're not throwing this putt, so I'm gonna pick it up, which is interfering with the lie, and she did intentionally do that.
I would certainly.
So both of those would say intentionally interfered with the lie, rule broken, but it's the right call.
I would certainly sit on the fence of the side of the fence that the rule was broken. I will say what was hilarious was watching Ian
like if
and
Heinold would have called it, he would have been in the right, but it would have been the wrong PR move.
This is inside the bullseye. Here, hold on a second. I had a perfect screenshot of it right here. You can see on Owen's missed putt. That's where Val's putter was. So like she's just inside.
Okay, then she must have marked it farther.
And nobody's missing that putt.
No, so it was like 5 feet.
It's like it's
she
5
marked
or 6
it farther.
feet.
Then.
Yeah,
she definitely marked it farther.
I think so. I think when she put it back, I remember thinking, that wasn't as far.
Because imagine if she marks it and then misses it.
Yeah. This whole thing could have been 100 times worse.
Because then the other thing that kind of saved it too is Val went on to win. So even if you're like, okay, Owen broke the rule, she should have been penalized. Well, the same person won.
And also, to be fair, like if Val would have lost, Val would not have. She wouldn't want to win that way. Like nobody wants to win that way.
That's why I'm saying the right call was made.
But everybody would have argued on the behalf of that. Like should have been. It's this whole thing where the PDGA already gets a lot of crap for not enforcing rules, and people are already on guard with that, especially online. So like when this happened, it was immediately back to the like you've got to be able to set this precedent. Like a rule's broken, and it's such a weird one. Like. I'm curious, like, we'll talk about this on debate night. I want to get more opinions on this.
Well, I think the big split, I'm probably in
the language of the rule, I think, is almost like I think that's like the least of this. I think it's
I'm
really
in the
deciding
minority where I think a rule was broken and I think the right no call was made.
I think you probably will be.
Because I think people from what I was seeing online, people are either like, she didn't break a rule. Yeah. Or they're like, she should have been penalized.
Right. Most people are talking about that.
And I'm like, I think she did break a rule, just reading it black and white. But I think given the whole circumstance, you gotta just
a lot of things weren't done the technical way.
Yeah. So you just gotta hey, replace it back. Let's play it out because both players are in agreement. They picked it up because again, if nothing's said, then Val's the one that breaks the rule. If nothing's said, because then Val wouldn't have finished the hole, and then the next tee when she teed off, she's the one that misplayed because she didn't finish the hole.
Well,
so if you let it go long enough,
nothing said, Owen still broke the rule. It's a double rule break. Well, yeah, because she interfered with the lie, and Val didn't finish the hole. It's a double rule break.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, they both broke the rule because you can't pick up that disc, and Val has to finish out the hole.
That's what I'm saying.
It's double.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like at the end of the day, it was best for Heinl just be like, hey, you gotta finish the hole, place it back where it was, and let's move on.
It's a brutal situation because like I understand it. Like I can totally see how this happens because like
it feels like match play.
You get in such a match play mentality, and then especially like Val, like when Owen, somebody who's been on like playing disc golf for a long time, and like you're in the your brain is fried at this point because you're just trying to focus on this playoff, and she just like that's good. Like when she just says that to you, you probably just autopilot and be like sure. And like you're just so focused on the next tee because this putt was not on her mind. It was a tap in. So all she's thinking about is her next tee shot, and you're like, sure, let's go.
Well, that's the other thing is like in any other circumstance, right? This call could never be okay because the rest of the field's not there to say I'm okay to give her that. Right. But in this, the only person that it affected was Owen Scoggins, and she said, "You're good. I can pick it up if you're fine with that." And they both said yes. So like literally the entire field of what was still playing was like, yeah, we're good. We'll pick that up. Right. So like from that's the other thing of like, if the call was made, which again, technically I think it could have been, if the call was made, that also is a weird one because now you're also going against the entire field. So then Val would have felt terrible because she's like, I told her she could pick it up.
It would. I think we can all agree that we're glad we got to see this tournament played out like on the course and not that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It would have been kind of like wild to watch, but I wanted to. I mean, I had already watched a few playoff holes. I've been watching this whole round of FPL. Like, I want to see this thing play out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm glad it ended the way it did. I was happy for Val, and so like, yeah. I think
people. Oh, the other thing I want to bring up is people have been comparing this to when Cal Longquist picked up Calvin's disc, and the key difference there was no intentionality because Cal thought he was picking up his disc.
Right.
So Cal picked it up, realized it was Calvin's disc, and then was like, "Hey guys." Because he putted, if you remember, he marked his lie, he moved his disc, he putted. Calvin's disc was in front of his lie, so then he thought that was his disc, so he picked his disc up when he came back or whatever. That's different because it was in a state of confusion. He thought he was picking up his disc, whereas Owen knew she was picking up Val's disc.
It's true.
So that's the big difference.
There's a difference there.
It's like, it wasn't, he didn't pick up Calvin's disc because he didn't get stroked as he should.
Very much an accident.
Yeah, that was just a complete accident. This wasn't an accident. It was an agreed upon interference of intentionality, but she
agreed upon intentional interference.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. But the right call was made. Nothing should have been done. They should have kept playing. They did. Val won.
Yeah.
There you go.